Hello, Giants fans, and welcome to the Giants series postgame show. I am David, and what I like to do is talk to you guys about what the Giants have done in their latest series. In the latest series, the Cardinals came into town with a 2-4 record. With an Albert Pujols, who is not hitting like an Albert Pujols, and a Holiday, who was not in the game, who was injured for the first two games. So the Giants were looking at really capitalizing on Cardinals who look a little bit beat up so far in this young season. The first game, they threw out Sanchez. Sanchez pitched beautifully. He pitched 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. I mean, if he keeps this up with the strikeouts so high and the walks so low, I do think that he will be a 15 to 13 game winner. And if he does that with a Kane, who will be pitching beautifully the whole season, hopefully, and a Lincecum, who does his usual stuff, this team, I do think, will be 100% better than last year. And how can you top a season where you won the World Series? And I think that this team has a possibility of doing it. But it's a long season and a lot of things can happen. So in the 9th inning, the Giants came in with a 2-1 lead. Wilson came in to pitch. Wilson got the first 2 guys out pretty easy, looking like his old self. Now everyone knows that Wilson had an spring training where he was injured most of it. So I knew coming in that he would be rusty. So after he gets the first 2 outs, he gets a hit. They get a single off of him. He walks the guy. He hits a batter. And then I believe after he hit the batter, Bruce Bochy got a guy up there warming up just in case if Wilson does not pull this thing out. And then when the bases were loaded, the Cardinals got a single, got 2 guys in. Bruce Bochy brought in the reliever for Wilson. And I don't think that this is going to be the Wilson that we're going to see all year. I know it's not. That Wilson is going to come back and he's got a lot more control than he has been. That was basically a spring training game for him, even though it counted. And I loved what he said on the clubhouse. He was like, the only thing he knows is that his ERA is up to 1 billion. And yeah, it was. I think reading it was like a 38, his ERA right now. So I know that this is not going to be him for the rest of the year. That he's going to come back and he's going to be pitching just like his usual self, dominant. So the Giants were down 3-1 or 3-2, and they get a couple hits, and then Sandoval comes in, gets that single that we needed, that gave the Giants, that tied the game. So they go into extra innings, and I love extra inning game because you never know what's going to happen. So it went to the 12th inning. Up to then, it was a back and forth game. It looked like everything was going to go either one way or another. Until Roland comes up, I believe there was 2 guys on base. Roland gets a single that looked like it could have gone to a home run. But it was just amazing, beautiful hit. He came into that at bat with, I could think of 5 hits out of the last 10 at-bats, and he just hit that ball. And the Giants won in grand fashion. Like, that game right there showed me that the Giants are not going to lay down and die until the last very pitch. So if they play like that, play their hearts out every game, I do believe that they are going to get their 90-plus wins this season and hopefully get into the playoffs and show the world what they are again. And then the second game, the Giants threw out Matt Cain. In the second game, the Giants got the World Series rings, beautiful ceremony, and that ring looks beautiful. I mean, it was so nice to know after all these years of me watching the Giants that the Giants got that World Series ring. And I know I'm not a part of the Giants team, but after watching them all these years, it felt like I got it too. And it was just beautiful. I mean, just seeing them get the rings. And then I heard an interview with Tejada after the game, and he was like, I want that to be me this year. For me to have that World Series ring. If he keeps on playing the way he is, he's going to help this team do it again. So in the second game, the Giants threw out Kane. Kane pitched beautifully. He threw 7 innings, had 4 strikeouts and 1 walk, and just dominated like never before. I mean, We saw what he did in the postseason last year, and the whole world's eyes were open. I mean, even my eyes were open. I didn't know that he was this good. And if he keeps this up, I do think that he is going to win the Cy Young this year. I know that everyone wants to go either pick one of the many Phillies pitchers, but I do think that this is going to be Kane's year to win the Cy Young. And you heard it first here. So, Kane pitched beautifully, but the Giants were down 2-1 till the ninth inning. And there was 2 outs and a 3-2 count, and Tejada was up. Tejada was having an at-bat of his life. I mean, that at-bat showed me what a player he is. He's a player who will fight and fight and fight until the very end. I never knew that about him. I always thought that he would be not a lazy guy, but a guy who was a superstar. And he's definitely not that. I was totally wrong about this guy, and I'm glad that the Giants picked him up. He's a very good teammate for the Giants, very good player, and I think that he's going to do wonders for this team. If this is his only year, so be it. But for now, I like what he's doing. But in that at-bat, he got a double, which gave the Giants 2 runs. And then the Giants win the game again off a walk-off hit. And, I mean, those 2 games, as I said just a couple minutes ago, this has shown me a team that's not going to die down. That we're going to be fighting this game out to the very end. And if all games are like that, where they fight to the very end, this is going to be a very awesome season. And in the third game, Zito came out. Now, Zito in his last game, I'll give him credit. He pitched a good game. Did not get the win, but he pitched beautifully. So I kind of a little bit hopes in this game. But he only went 5 innings. And he only gave up, He only had 1 strikeout in 5 innings. I mean, the way he pitched, he gave up too many freaking walks. He gave up 5 walks. And walks are going to hurt you no matter what. And Zito just looked like... He looked a little bit more... not dominant, but he looked a little bit better than he did at the end of last year. But we needed to see him step it up. I mean, come on, you're getting this. I know you're getting this big old contract. It's been said so many times, and I know you care about this team. I know you do. So I just want to see a Zito who maybe gets the runs that he needs. He needs at least 3 runs to save his ass. But today's game, he only got 1 run. And that run came from in the first from Sandoval's RBI single. But that game, the third game of this season, or the series, was terrible. The Giants lost 6-1. The Giants, I don't know if they looked tired, especially the pitchers. The pitchers looked tired in the third game because they played a 12-inning game, the first game of the series. And I think Mota, it was. Let's see. Yeah, Mota, I think he pitched like 50 pitches in the third game of the series, and he pitched, And he pitched, I think, like 20 pitches in the overtime game, or the extra inning game. So I think that the Giants pitcher was a little bit tired. I think the Giants were tired of all the celebration they've been doing. But the third game was just a letdown. But I do think that we're going to pull this out. The next series, we got the Dodgers coming into town. Dodgers are coming into town with a 5-4 record. We are 4-5. And I do think that this is going to be a very good series. And I'm hoping that the Giants could at least pull out 2 wins. And if they do, they're above 500. And this is going to be a good year. All right, guys. My name is David, and this is Giants Series Postgame Show.